So if you had a big game, let's say Little League.
Okay.
What did you get as a treat on the way home?
Dairy Queen, for sure.
Blizzard?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my dad's got a sweet tooth, and he kind of passed it over to me. So it's like ice cream, milkshake, Blizzard, any of it. That's where we were sliding right through there.
Did you get the same Blizzard flavor every time, or was it different?
So I go between Oreo and chocolate chip cookie dough, back and forth. Oreo used to, my brother got cookie dough a lot, so I kind of bounce back and forth. You know, can't get the same thing all the time.
I don't know. I like a good strawberry cheesecake.
I like cheesecake in general.
I like cheesecake in general too, but I like that in my Blizzard. Here's what we're gonna do. Why am I doing this?
Yeah,
You're supposed to be doing this. Could you please salt and pepper some steaks? We're gonna throw these on the grill. Were you and your brother competitive, or were you close friends?
I would say a little bit of both. I definitely would say I'm more competitive than he is, but yeah, we had a good little rivalry going, I guess. And anytime we did something in the yard or wherever we were at, we had fun with it.
How do you define more competitive than your brother?
I don't know. I guess that, I don't know, whenever I was little, like all I wanted to do was just play baseball and throw the baseball and go pitch or do whatever. And my brother, it was just kind of like he didn't want it to play as much as I did, I guess. And so anytime we'd go out there, like I'd always take it super serious, and sometimes that can get into an argument a little bit.
Who did you pretend to be in the backyard when you were playing, and who did he pretend to be in the backyard when you were playing?
I think both of us loved Chipper Jones, to be honest with you. Just growing up in Georgia, and you know, the type of player that he was, like it was so cool. Like when you're a kid, like he was a switch hitter.
Yeah.
So like I always hit right-handed, but you're always all right. Well, let me switch it around left-handed just one time to see how it feels, and I'll be Chipper. Probably won't hit the ball, but you can at least just try it out and and imagine yourself doing it.
At what point did you become a pitcher? Did you have dreams of being a different
I
player?
think early on, I always felt like I was better at pitching. I enjoyed playing the field. I really loved hitting. But when I got to high school, I grew a little bit and just pitching more often. I was like, all right, I think this is what I'm going to end up doing.
Did you have a backup plan to baseball?
Oh no, I still don't.
And that's what they call doubling down on yourself, kids.
Yeah, you have a dream, just keep working at it, keep chasing it, and see what happens.
In high school, you were drafted by the Diamondbacks. Did you turn that down because you always knew you wanted to play at Georgia? Or did you just not think that you were where you wanted to be in your career?
I think it was both. I think it was both. I think in high school, it got to be my senior year, and I had went on a visit and watched Georgia play a couple of games, and it was an unreal environment and atmosphere. And growing up a Georgia fan, it was always something I wanted to do. And, you know, you have that dream in your head. It's like, yeah, I want to, you know, play in the major leagues one day, but like this place means a lot to me, and I want to spend some time there. It'd be a great place to take, you know, our kids back one day or do whatever. And so it was a great decision. I'm glad I did it because that place will always be special to me.
How has the mental performance side of things changed since you got into baseball?
I think just the resources available, or you know, now we have people that you can talk to at all times, and it's a whole, you know, I look at it as like a piece of the puzzle.
Yep.
And you have to make sure that you're covering every one of those pieces in order to be able to perform at your best. And you know, in college, like we really didn't talk about it a whole lot, 'cause I just don't think it was as, you know, viewed as important maybe as what it is in professional baseball. But the grind that you go through, you know, daily and weekly, and how long the season is, you need someone there that you can kind of talk those things with.
How much of that gets incorporated into your game day? Like game day when you start, how much of that gets incorporated to that routine before you pitch?
I think you kind of have to see like where you are for that day, because I think there's certain times where, you know, you got to make sure that your mindset is where it needs to be. You know, sometimes it can drift off. You cannot be as focused as you need to be. So making sure that Vern talks about it a lot. It's like making sure, your mind and your body are synced up and they're together. And because you can really tell when they're not. And so just making sure that you're focused and prepared and ready to go is important.
Wait, how can you tell? I think I can tell with myself. How can you tell?
Well, I just think that there's, sometimes, you get into a game and as small as the margin of error is in the major leagues, one pitch here, one pitch there, things can change on you. So making sure that, you're focused from the first pitch of that inning, that you're focused from, your warm-ups all the way up until the last pitch you throw in the game.
This is going to sound silly. I've actually heard position players talk about this sometimes. Like, I know my mind can wander during a game, but I'm also not the one who's throwing the pitch. I'm not at the plate. How could your mind wander if you've got a guy like Aaron Judge, right? I would think that there's only one thing you're thinking about, and that's hitting the glove of the catcher. Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. But I also think that, there is a human side to everything. And, you can sometimes think about, what might happen when you throw this pitch. If I throw it here, what might happen? And when you think about it, and that's where we do such a good job talking about it, pitching, you have very little control. Like once you throw the ball, there's so much is out of your control of what might happen. So it's about thinking about the right things at the right time.
It's not like you're thinking about dinner after the game. You're
right.
You're thinking about like worst case scenarios, right? Or
absolutely.
like you're also thinking about where am I going to back this up if the throw comes home, or where am I defensively if the ball gets put into play.
That's the idea. You're not focused on the job at hand. You might just be thinking about the wrong thing in that moment.
See, I've never had anybody explain it quite like that because I think we misunderstand what not being focused is.
We're all focused.
Right?
We know what's at stake when we're throwing that pitch. It's just that you're human and you think about certain things and you want to win and you don't want anything bad to happen. So it's about thinking like, all right, here we go, committed to this pitch, and whatever else happens, you can't really control it.
You know what you can control? You can control the salad that we are making right now.
I Cook, You Measure is presented by Safeway, who welcomes everyone at the table through the Nourishing Neighbors program. You can donate in stores or by visiting nourishingneighbors.com.